Now, I did want to talk about Tuesday night. And I'm going to tell you who I think won that debate. And it might not be who you think it is. But first, I want you to take a look at this.
Good evening. The television and radio stations of the United States and their affiliated stations are proud to provide facilities for a discussion of issues in the current political campaign by the two major candidates for the presidency.
That was, of course, Richard Nixon and JFK. And that was the first televised debate between the leading presidential candidates of the time. And so the interesting thing about this is that anyone, TV was very early at the time. And so anyone who actually, a lot of people listened to that debate on the radio and a lot of people watched it on TV. And when they asked people who they actually thought won that debate, everyone that listened to it thought, that Nixon guy, he just wiped the floor with JFK. It's a clear-cut winner for Nixon. But anyone who actually saw the debate saw JFK as the winner of that debate. And watching the debate on Tuesday, very, very different than that debate between Nixon and JFK. And it feels weird to mention it in the same breath, but it is a presidential debate. But I left that feeling Trump won that debate. He didn't win on the issues. He didn't, he didn't present a whole lot of issues. He dominated the stage. And I think he comes out of that, I think it looked like he won to me. And the old adage is, whoever complains about the moderator or the process, they're usually the ones that have lost. And whenever you turned on the TV and the immediate reaction you saw after the debate was this.
That was a shit show.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Clearly, this debate was an embarrassment for the United States of America.
What a dark event we have just witnessed. The tip of the hat to Cormac McCarthy when we say, if that wasn't a mess, it'll do till the mess gets here.
That was the worst debate I have ever seen. In fact, it wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace.
That it was. And really, Biden, you kind of can't fault him here. He's in a lose situation, right? I mean, he can't stoop to Trump's level. I know I would have. I mean, I was watching that and I was like, man, I couldn't sit there and listen to that guy. I would have to walk off or something. But Trump can't. Trump says all this stuff about Biden. He attacks him for everything under the sun. Even attacks Biden's son, who is no longer with us. And Biden tells Trump to shut up. And that is a headline. Biden said something, responded to some of this, vitriol that was coming his way by telling Trump to shut up. And that's what people took away from it. And so he can't stoop to his level. He has to look presidential. Now, the problem with him looking presidential is that it seems like he's not really engaging in the debate. It seems that he is taking all these attacks and he's not responding. And that's obviously not the point of a debate. But that's kind of where we are nowadays. A lot of people are going to watch this and they're just going to see a dogfight. And that's not good for anyone. Because the big thing is, did we actually learn anything? Did we actually learn anything from this debate? And I don't think so. I certainly didn't learn anything. And yeah, I mean, this thing, watching it, I mean, it started going off the rails from the very beginning.
One of the big debates we had with 23 of my colleagues trying to win the nomination that I won were saying that Biden wanted to allow people to have private insurance still. They can. They do. They will under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what your party has said.
That is simply
your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your party wants to go socialist medicine.
My party is
and
me.
socialist
right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now.
Yep. That it just went off the rails. And for the record, that was like, I think 3 or 4 minutes into the actual debate there, and it just totally, it went off the rails. I mean, it did. That's when things were more or less civil. civil, and Trump's calling him a socialist. Biden, who is accurate there, he has never actually signed on for Medicare for all. But yeah, it was just a dogfight. And the scary part about this is that it shows that the election, in a lot of ways, has been a battle about personalities and not ideas. Joe Biden, first credit, and I've been guilty of this myself, is that people haven't talked much about what he's for. He wants to grow the minimum wage, or wants to raise the minimum wage. He wants to grow Obamacare. He wants to expand early childhood education. He wants to do a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of policy things he wants to do, and no one's really talking about it. And for Trump's side, there's not a whole lot of policy things. Like, there's no Republican platform. There's really not a whole lot there to definitively go over, because, again, it's about Trump's personality, not about what they could do for the United States. And that's a problem. That's not how our election process is supposed to work.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics, the news, and all the stuff that's going on in our country?